If you look closely in nature, there is usually a lesson worth learning. Today's example is happening in the Niagara River right as we speak. Terry Belke explains as he takes us to the outdoors.
In the upper Niagara River, part of the ecology is facing a hard truth regarding the folly of introducing non-native species. The situation begins with the double-crested cormorant, a native migratory water bird with a robust population in the river. Their proliferation now is ironic given that they were almost completely decimated in the 70s. The pesticide DDT and human persecution were the main reasons for their decline.
Since about the early 1970s, two things happened. We got rid of the toxins in the environment through regulations that banned things like DDT, as well as the species gained protection under the Migratory Bird Treaty.
The cormorants didn't need any help after that. Their numbers increased over the years. Skilled predators, they're perfectly adapted to their environment. Cormorants are actually related to pelicans.
The thing that they have in common with pelicans is actually their foot structure. They have something called a totidactyl foot structure, which allows them to exceed at swimming underwater, using their feet as propulsion underwater.
So, considering their predation skills, you wouldn't think the cormorant would need any help surviving. But in the river, they're getting just that from some invasive species.
The zebra and quagga mussels that were introduced from Asia, the effect that they had on the ecosystem was to, amongst other things, increase water clarity. And given that the double-crested cormorant is an aquatic predator, having clear water makes their job a lot easier.
After the mussels, the round goby was introduced to Lake Erie in 1995. Cormorants found gobies to be great prey and easier to find in the clearer water.
So clear water and the abundant round goby as an easy prey item made their living a lot easier, and their populations responded by increasing dramatically, exponentially.
But what's good for one species is not necessarily good for another. Motor Island in the river is an important nesting ground for colonial nesting birds of all species, including great blue herons and egrets. The cormorant explosion is forcing other species off of the island. They're also having a devastating effect on the island's vegetation. The waste from their excessive numbers is killing vegetation and affecting soil chemistry.
Not only that, but their nesting behavior also is detrimental to these trees. They actually strip the leaves and twigs and branches off the trees for making their nest.
The lesson for man involves awareness. Invasive species are here because of us, and thus we must take responsibility for the future.
Accidents of species introduction, or sometimes intentional species introductions, have impacts that are beyond our control. If you're at all concerned about any of these factors, then do everyone a favor and educate yourself and pay attention.
Reporting from the upper Niagara River, taking you to the outdoors, I'm Terry Belke.